For the first time since Naruto lost Kurama, he will be returning to battle, and in this chapter, he activates his Sage Mode, and he's getting ready to go in and help Boruto and Kawaki fight against Code. So right now, Boruto and Kawaki had left the village. Kawaki was going to willingly give himself over to Code because he didn't want Naruto to battle him. Everybody's worried that Naruto in his current state isn't strong enough to beat Code, who still has his limiter on him, but he is able to use this white karma, which gives him certain special abilities and the battle experience of Ishiki Otsutsuki. But as he was about to give himself over, Boruto arrived. They battled for quite a bit, and at the end of the chapter, Boruto awakened a new karma mode. Now, they haven't explained what this is exactly. In fact, Kawaki thought that Momoshiki was taking over again, just like at the end of the Ishiki fight, but it's not. Most likely, the pills that Boruto is taking are generating this new form, allowing him to draw out more of the Otsutsuki power while maintaining himself and not losing control to Momoshiki. Now, whether or not he's as strong as Boroshiki at this point, we're not really sure, but he definitely gains a significant power boost in this chapter, enough that he's actually able to go toe-to-toe with Code, and the battle is pretty good. Now, unfortunately, by the end of the chapter, even though it seems like Boruto is winning, he ends up collapsing, and that's probably, again, because of those pills that Amato gave him, which are supposed to prevent the Otsutsufication process from progressing at its normal rate. It's supposed to slow it down to almost nothing, and those pills are the reason why Kawaki is as far along in the Otsutsufication process as Boruto, because Kawaki had been taking those pills pretty much since he was a kid. And it could have something to do with Boruto having Byakugan DNA from his mother Hinata, because apparently these pills are very harmful to the Byakugan. So while Boruto put up a really good fight, and the battle with Code was very interesting, I'll talk about that in just a second, looks like Boruto collapses and either Momoshiki might come out. I doubt it though. I'm pretty sure Naruto is going to arrive at the battlefield with Shikamaru in the next chapter and fight against Code. Now, Code's two android associates, Ada and Damon, have not arrived. They're kind of still in their home base right now observing the fight, where Damon is asleep. And if Damon gets involved, I don't know how you can beat that guy. That little boy can, like, if you just think about killing him, you die. There's got to be some sort of counter to that, but that seems to be like the most godly overpowered jutsu that ever existed. So as this battle goes on, we get to see pretty much the heights of Code's capabilities, and I compare it closely to the fourth Hokage's flying Raijin technique, where he's basically able to teleport around anywhere he placed a seal. And in that same sense, Code is able to teleport anywhere that he places this claw mark. And as you see from this panel, he's even able to place these claw marks on Boruto and start like reaching his arm out to attack Boruto's shadow clones, which is pretty interesting. So it's almost like a cross between the flying Raijin technique and the Sharingan Kamui technique, where you can kind of go into an alternate dimension. But as I've said before, these abilities that Code has, which is like strength, claws, and some sort of teleportation, doesn't seem like anything completely out of hand, especially compared to the other two androids. Now, Code does have a limiter on his body, which I'm guessing they're gonna have to capture Amato at some point to remove that limiter. Amato said he's the only one that can remove it, which also makes me think that it's very possible that Naruto is still able to win in his battle with Code in the next chapter. So Naruto is using his Sage Mode. He activates it here in this chapter, and Shikamaru says, you know, just be careful with that Sage Mode, like you can't last very long. And Naruto says, no, I can actually use it for a very long time now, call it Wisdom of Age. So I'm not really sure what that is, besides maybe Kishimoto is just powering up Naruto, because he seemed like he would be so nerfed after Kurama is removed, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can pretty much just use Sage Mode like forever without any drawbacks, it seems. Now, Shikamaru does tell Naruto, like, hey, be careful, you know, you don't have Kurama anymore, pretty much. And Naruto says, I know. So basically what he's referring to is, even though Naruto has Sage Mode, and it will give him probably the hand-to-hand combat strength enough to fight Code in the next chapter toe-to-toe, he doesn't have the overwhelming reserve of chakra that he used to do with Kurama, and he doesn't have Kurama mode either. So to be honest, I'm not really sure what Naruto's gonna be able to do besides just fight in hand-to-hand combat. I'm sure he could still use Rasengan, but Naruto never really had a big variety of techniques. But with Shikamaru with him, I'm sure the two of them combined can probably take out Code, or at least beat him back. I'm sure he'll just probably escape into a claw mark, which leads me to believe that the next fight after Code versus Naruto will be Code kidnapping Amato, getting his limiter removed before he tries to take on Naruto again. So while it may seem that Naruto is extremely nerfed at this point, I still think he's gonna win in his battle with Code in the very next chapter, and I think it's gonna make fans very happy because, to be honest, everybody's really worried. They're like, why would you take out Naruto and Sasuke? You took out the Rinnegan and you took out Kurama, and our two favorite characters that you built up over years and years and years are completely nerfed. There's the two characters that a lot of fans, it's the only reason they read the manga or watch the anime is for Naruto and Sasuke. Not all of them. There is a lot of fans who really love all the brand new characters and the kids. I mean, people are going crazy over the Chunin exam episode with Sadara today, which was pretty well animated actually. But the anime right now is back into filler for God knows how long. They're gonna have to let the manga at least get to the time skip before they get back on track to do the canon material once again. Another important thing to note, as you can notice from this panel here, is that Boruto tries to absorb the claw marks using the karma, but he can't do it. And actually, Kawaki has to explain that while it is chakra, there's iron mixed in from his blood, making them composites. So these claw marks are very strange. It's like, yeah, maybe you can't absorb it with your karma, but can you just like kick it or slice it with a kunai or put some dirt over it or something like that? I mean, it seems to be just like some blood or something like that, but for whatever reason, it seems like they're basically just writing this into you can't get rid of his claw marks. I'm surprised they can't just like jutsu release it or something like that. Pretty much any scientific ninja tool or creation that Amato has made is just ridiculously overpowered. And when Code gets his limiter released, I mean, my God, this guy, they said he's gonna be stronger than even Jigen. And personally, I find that absolutely ridiculous. But right now, he doesn't seem too overpowered. Boruto is going head to head with him. Kawaki does actually end up helping out here. Both Boruto and Kawaki using a lot of shadow clones and using them right. And actually, interestingly, although Kawaki can only use one shadow clone, he always seems to use it at the perfect moment and catch his enemy off guard. So you gotta hand it to Kawaki. Although he doesn't have the chakra or the expertise at this point to make tons and tons of shadow clones, he's still able to use them incredibly effectively. Boruto comes in with a vanishing Rasengan and is about to critically hurt Code, but Code is able to escape with the claw marks. So again, these claw marks pretty much allow Code to dodge most attacks that come his way, but I still wouldn't consider it a very overpowered ability, especially considering the abilities of the other two androids. So that's it for the chapter. At the end, Boruto falls to the ground and he's kind of gripping his chest. I don't know if he's having like a heart attack or he's having just some side effects from the medicine. We haven't seen any side effects yet, so assumably this is one of them. And since Naruto and Shikamaru are on their way, they should arrive very soon in the very next chapter. So I'm excited to see Naruto fight again. I'm excited to see what he's capable of without Kurama. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this chapter. I thought it was pretty darn good. I'll talk to you guys soon for the next video.